Hi, I'm Tall Paul, New Mexico's funniest family entertainer, and welcome to my vlog. In the future, I plan on interviewing other party professionals, giving you lots of birthday party or party planning tips and things like that. But for now, since I don't have any of those interviews done, or I'm just putting this together on the spot, I'm just going to tell a little bit. Just wash my mouth. I can't do a thing with it. I'm going to tell a little bit about how I got started in magic and my journey to get me where I am today. So, when I was a kid, I was about 6 years old, and my brother got a magic set for Christmas. And on his birthday in February, I watched him perform some of those tricks. And one of them was the cups and balls. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's one of the oldest tricks known to man, actually, and it's where little balls go through little cups. And it blew my mind. I had to know how those balls went through the cups, and he wouldn't tell me like a good magician. I do plan on teaching you some magic on this vlog as well someday. And because I had to know, I decided, well, if he's not going to tell me, I'm going to go to the library and check out a book. So I checked out a book called The Amateur Magician's Handbook. And I poured into that thing and read it, and when it was time for me to return it back to the library, I called the library, said I wanted to check it out again. I did that over and over and over until they finally said, you checked it out too much, you have to return it. So I returned it for about a week, and then I went back and checked it out again. And I kept that book for months and months and months and months. And finally I have my own copy now, thank you to Wayne Hicks. He gave me a copy when he heard that story, so I thought that was really cool. Thank you. Anyway, then I remember performing at, I think it was my second or third grade talent show, and horrible, horrible, horrible performance. I'm looking back on that and thinking, why did I stay into magic? It was so bad. I had a little matchbox that I cut a hole in the back, and I would slide things into the empty matchbox and through the hole, and I didn't have anything to slide in, so I had like pocket lint and just really gross. It was horrible. I remember getting a bloody nose before going on stage because I stuck a coin to my forehead, and somebody said, "Could you stick it to your nose?" And I put it to my nose, and it just started bleeding. I had a very sensitive nose growing up. And anyway, I also would rake leaves at my grandma's house, and she would pay my brother and I $1 a bag, and we would rake leaves, and I would take my money and go down to the grocery store that was right next to her place, or real close to her place, and they had a few magic tricks. They had some that I actually still do today. And so, not the exact same ones, but, you know, the same effect. And so I would go get the magic tricks, and I would learn them, and one was linking rings. They had Professor's Nightmare, which is a rope trick. I remember way to make a handkerchief disappear, which I do bigger magic wands. It's the same exact method that I got at the grocery store near my grandma's house. In fact, I think it actually might be the same prop after all these years too, which is pretty cool. And there's one ring on rope, which I never did, but the Professor's Nightmare I still do, the rope trick, and the linking rings I still do, and the of course making the handkerchief disappear I still do. And so that was kind of cool. And then I learned the wonderful world of magic shops as I got old enough to take the bus. So I'd take the bus down to Pyro's magic shop and hang out with him. And I remember one day I walked into Pyro's, and a gentleman by the name of Rob Weinstein was in there, and I asked where Pyro was, and he says he bought the shop. So I worked for Rob for several years until he sold the shop to Neil, and I worked for Neil until it went out of business, and then there's no magic shop for a while, and the magic shop started opening up again, and Wayne Hicks made the magic and juggling shop, which was home. I really, really, really liked that place a lot. I loved the people. Yeah, that was probably the best magic shop here in town, hands down, no equivocation. And then Max bought the shop and called it Max's Magic Shop, and he moved to Minnesota or something like that about a couple of years ago. So there's no magic shop in town, so I have to get all my stuff online. Shame there's no place to hang out. But anyway, that's my story. I started doing magic professionally. I did my first show for my grandma's hairdresser. I did balloon animals and magic, and again, that was a total nightmare. I was probably about 11 or 12 years old. My mom had to drop me off. It was my first paid show. I think I made $50 or something like that. And then, but I really loved coin magic. Through high school, I was really good at coins. And in 1998, I went to a marketing seminar by another magician named Dave D. And he taught marketing to magicians, and now he teaches marketing to all kinds of business owners. And he's the one that kind of told me I should do kid show magic. I asked him, how do I go from being getting calls for kid shows and doing the close-up, which I loved. And he says, well, why don't you do kid shows? And at the time, I really didn't want to. I didn't have the props. I didn't know how to be around kids. I just didn't know. I didn't want to. And I took his advice. I switched over to kid show magic and did birthday parties, and it changed my life. I actually grew to really, really love doing kid shows, and I have a lot of fun developing kid shows, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I hope to see you at a birthday party or some show soon. Anyway, that's the basic idea of my story, and I hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoyed my vlog. This is Tall Paul reminding you to be kind to this day, because it's the only day of its kind.